Hello everyone, my name is Naomi. Welcome back to my channel. I know that watching the news and watching some of the things going on in our country are very troubling. What you're watching is basically a communist takeover of America. I mean, they've been plotting it for decades. They said they were going to do it without ever firing a shot, and they've almost succeeded. I mean, we've got some crazy stuff going on in this country right now. And the Patriots are doing such a great job holding the line. I mean, we're doing everything we can to avoid violence toward those who are treating us so vilely. I mean, they're trying to take away our rights. They are suppressing our freedom of speech. They are, and this is the funny thing, is that the mainstream media and the social media, they aren't just oppressing conservatives. It's that we've got a good chunk of the country that don't realize that they're being oppressed. I mean, basically they're saying, you're only going to see what we want you to see because you're too stupid to have access to everything, and now we're just going to tell you what to think. You shouldn't have access to all information. They don't want you to be able to make an informed decision. They just want you to go along with their view. So, and that's what you see in a communist country. I mean, the first step is to take over the media, because propaganda is how you control the people, control the media, control the people, control the food, control the people. So what they've done is they have infiltrated our media and our public schools. So the propaganda machine has been very effective. I mean, just look at Nazi Germany. They literally had a propaganda minister, Joseph Goebbels. Propaganda is effective. I mean, you literally, they're controlling, it's like mind control. They are literally controlling the minds of people and getting them. How else do you get people to this wokeism that we're seeing now? It's crazy how like twisted this is. I mean, they're literally pushing racism, but trying to twist it and say that it's not racism and that they're opposing racism, but they're literally creating racism. So, I mean, you're seeing some weird, twisted, opposite stuff that is going on in our country, and it is communism. We were warned. We knew it was coming. Well, there's a lot of people in the country who were propagandized, I mean, through the public schools and through the media. They watched a lot of television, and so you've got people who still don't see it and don't understand it because they have been so propagandized and indoctrinated their whole life. But that is essentially what it is. But the Patriots we hold the moral high ground. We're doing everything we can to keep from this hate and division that is occurring. We're not lashing out. We're not taking up arms against fellow Americans just because, I mean, we recognize that these people are the way that they are because they're ignorant. They are hating us out of ignorance. Like, they don't understand. This is what blows my mind is we're saying, no, you're gonna lose all your freedom, and they're calling us Nazis. And I'm like, they don't understand how communism works. If the communists win, you're not safe because you voted the communists in. You're not safe because you accepted it. You're not safe because you hated those who opposed the communism. Once the patriots, the people who oppose communism, are out of the picture, nobody's safe. And then it's too late. because the people who had the courage to stand up and oppose evil, even if it cost them their lives, those people are not there anymore to protect you. And what you're left with is the population of the country that were cowards and bowed to communism. So let's talk about some of the ways, and I'm going to do a series of videos. I want to talk about some of the ways that you take your country back, because we have to continue to do things lawfully and without violence. I mean, that's the thing, is that as patriots, we love our country, and we don't want to see any Americans hurt or injured. We understand that these policies that are being enacted are harmful to everyone. Like, we don't even want those who oppose us to suffer, which says a lot about our character. We don't want to hurt those who are desperately trying to hurt us. So, one of the first things that I think is the most absolute important for taking our country back from the communists, the most important thing is to understand the Constitution. If you don't have a good in-depth understanding of the Constitution, get a copy and read it. And read it more than once. Read it thoroughly. Make sure that you understand every part of the Constitution. I have several copies of the Constitution. I think it is very important that everyone has a copy of the Constitution and reads it. Teach it to your children. Teach it to your neighbors. Teach it to everyone around you. Because what I'm finding is that people don't understand the Constitution. I had a conversation with a former coworker, and it was so frustrating. So frustrating. Because he literally said that, no, we have to take away the rights from these vile Trump supporters because they don't follow the Constitution and Trump doesn't follow the Constitution. I'm like, you're openly telling me that you want to violate the Constitution because you hate anyone who votes for Trump. Who's violating the Constitution here? So it was a very frustrating conversation. But the funny part was, when I asked him, how exactly did Donald Trump violate the Constitution? His answer was like, well, he's just the biggest criminal on the planet. Like, I don't understand how anybody could ever support him. Okay. How is he a criminal? What crime did he commit? Well, he doesn't pay his debts. What do you mean? He filed bankruptcy. That's legal. Bankruptcy is not illegal. Otherwise, we'd have a lot of people sitting in jail in this country because many people and businesses have filed bankruptcy. Donald Trump is not the only business owner to ever file bankruptcy, or even just a regular American. People file bankruptcy. So this friend who's screaming at me about how Trump supporters don't know the Constitution because they support Trump, he literally proved in a conversation that he didn't understand the first thing about the Constitution. I don't think he's ever read the Constitution. So one of the biggest and most important things that we can do for our country right now is to not only make sure that we know the Constitution inside and out, but we need to also help others to understand the Constitution. And there are actually some really great YouTube channels that are talking about the Constitution. And actually, the one channel, Bard's FM, I love Bard's FM. He is reading the Federalist Papers right now. I don't remember which one he's on, but he's reading the Federalist Papers, which are essays in support of the Constitution. So there are different ways that you can educate yourself and others around you. And one of them is just to make sure that you have a copy of the Constitution. If you know somebody who doesn't have a copy of the Constitution and can't afford it, buy them a copy. If you know someone who could benefit from hearing talk about the Constitution and the laws in our country, I mean, have them follow someone like Bards FM. You could have them follow, I don't know if you've ever been on Brighteon. Mike Adams, very educated, very highly intelligent man, talks a lot about current events in this country and what's going on. Steer people towards some of these channels where they talk about the Constitution and laws. And you can even, and I know a lot of you will think that I'm crazy for this, but InfoWars, Alex Jones. Every once in a while I listen to Alex Jones. I know that he can go crazy off the deep end at times. I know he has come out with some stuff that is weird. But he also has a really good understanding of the Constitution, laws, and what is going on in our country and how to fight it. And part of his crazy is that he has been screaming for people to wake up for literally decades. And of all things, he gets deplatformed. And did anybody stand up and say it's not right that his freedom of speech was being trampled on? No. We all should have had a problem with that. So it wasn't until recently that I started occasionally listening to Alex Jones. And it was because I realized with everything going on that Alex Jones was right. You know, them crazy conspiracy theorists that we wrote off and didn't want to listen to? What they warned us about is playing out right in front of our eyes and people don't see it. So I have gone back and I have listened to some of these guys and been like, oh my God, they tried to warn us for years. For years. So go back and listen to some of the crazy conspiracy theorists that everyone wrote off as not worth listening to, because sometimes those crazy conspiracy theorists are people who don't care about themselves. They don't care about being demonized. They're just desperate to get people to see the truth. They're desperate to save lives. They're desperate to help others, even if it means that they are horribly mistreated themselves. And I believe that's what happened with Alex Jones. Alex Jones is very passionate about standing up against some of the globalist agendas that are being played out in our country right now. And he was demonized for it. And I don't think he deserved what he got. But anyway, pick up a copy of the Constitution. You could actually get them fairly cheap. I don't know if you shop Amazon. And by the way, Amazon is something that we will probably want to talk about in one of our upcoming videos. But that's where my copies of the Constitution came from, because I, over the years, have bought a ton of books from Amazon. But help others. Help others as much as you possibly can to understand the Constitution, the Bible, biblical prophecy, and that some of the things that are happening are things that were foretold, and we knew that there would be people who wouldn't see what was going on in front of them. I think we all knew that would happen. I mean, it's literally in the Bible. Book of Revelations, Book of Isaiah, Jeremiah. The prophets, they foretold a lot of things. And some of those things we maybe at one time didn't fully understand, and now it's just like a light bulb. Oh my goodness. I see it. So anyway, we can do a lot to help others to get through the coming days if we make sure that we are fully informed and also be there when people wake up and are freaked out by what they see. So thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, guys.